Over the past several days, 3 females have been found dead.
Looks like someone's going after these girls.
Then they have to know to watch their backs.
Streaming now.
You really want what happened if this woman happened to you?
Exactly why I need to keep going on this.
Starring Emmy Award winner Amanda Seyfried.
I'm worried about what you're gonna find.
So am I.
Long Bright River. A limited series. Streaming now. Only on Peacock.
I was never really a runner. The way I see running is a gift, especially when you have stage 4 cancer. I'm Anne. I'm running the Boston Marathon, presented by Bank of America. I run for Dana-Farber Cancer Institute to give people like me a chance to thrive in life, even with cancer.
Join Bank of America in helping Anne's cause. Give if you can at BofA.com/supportAnne. What would you like the power to do? References to charitable organizations is not an endorsement by Bank of America Corporation. Copyright 2025.
You don't need formal culinary training. We don't have any franchisees that have even been to culinary school. So you have to love food, you have to love the kitchen, love community and connecting, but we will teach you the rest. We will teach you how to teach your instructors. You'll have a great employee team who will be doing most of the teaching of the classes.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to the latest edition of Fran Coach's Franchising 101 podcast. I am Tim Parmeter, founder and CEO of Fran Coach and your podcast host. Today, we're going to welcome in one of our franchise partners to discuss their brand. This is an emerging franchise that it is cooking up some fun and exciting customer experiences, one that appeals to all ages, direct to consumer, but can also tap into a B2B audience as well. Tons of great opportunities with this on this super cool brand we're getting to get to here in a second. Before we do that, as always, a quick reminder of who we are. Fran Coach is a national search firm dedicated to working with individuals interested in owning a franchise. Our number one goal is to help properly educate you on franchise ownership to determine if you should own one, and if so, which one. We're partnered with over 600 franchises in 70 industries, so we can always find the one. We just got to figure out you and help you determine, again, if you should, and then we'll find you the best one. So that is a little bit about us. Now let's get to our guest. And with us today is not just some random employee of a franchise. This is the founder, head of all things for our featured franchise, which is called Taste Buds Kitchen. And joining us is Jessi Brelsford. Jessi, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Tim. It's great to be here, and I'm happy to be talking to you today. Thanks for having me.
And you gave me a mouthful with Taste Buds Kitchen and Jessi Brelsford all at once.
It's true.
And a mouthful is a great thing to have when we're talking about Taste Buds Kitchen. So definitely got a bunch of questions for you with that, and hope you're buckled up and ready. But I always say franchising is a people business. So I love hearing people's stories and how they got into franchising, and seen a little bit of your background pre-franchising, totally different. So give us the Jessi scoop and how this all came about.
All right, the Jessi scoop. It's a long story. 43 years, in fact. So let's see. I'm from Maryland, one of 23 first cousins. Was always the Pied Piper of the group, always loved kids. But I gravitated towards business. So I went to Harvard, majored in economics, swam Division I, went to work in finance, Wall Street. And my heart was kind of pulling me towards kids, towards the family. I had at the time 3 great-grandparents alive. So I decided on a whim to start baking classes for kids. The name at the time was Cupcake Kids. So I would do these on the weekends, once a week on top of my job, maybe twice a month, not really once a week. I was still working 60 hours a week. And the concept took off. People loved the classes. They wanted me to do more. They wanted me to do their kids' cooking birthday party, summer camp, you name it. And I kind of had to say, thanks so much, but I am working full-time, uber full-time here. This is just my passion project, a hobby that I'm doing to not be between, when you work in finance, you're with people between the ages of 20 and 40 who all wear a suit all the time. And that kind of was my life. So this was an outlet, creative outlet for me. So fast forward, I liked it. Clients liked it. A year later, I decided to do it full time. And that's when Taste Buds Kitchen was born. So we do cooking classes and parties for kids and adults. When I made it full time, it was going to be all ages, so 2 to 99, and then all kinds of food, so not just sweet. So we do everything from scratch, from cookie to pasta to cupcakes to everything in between. So the brief version of my 43 years.
Yeah, because you just gloss over the fact that you got like, you got a, big boy, big girl job, right?
Yeah.
Right. And where, probably making okay money doing this.
Yeah, I was doing
And
very well.
your whole kind of like pathway up to that was for that career path. But then just randomly you go, nah, I'm going to quit and I'm going to start a business from scratch about basically cooking. Like, how long did it take you to kind of like get the courage up to, that's a heck of a leap to, again, start something literally from scratch that you don't even know is going to work, to leave something like that? How did you do that?
Yeah, good question. So I think when I was growing up, I just always try to do the next right thing. I love sports. Like I said, I swam, I rowed, I enjoyed high school. I was a good student. I enjoyed college. I loved swimming with my teammates. And for working on Wall Street, they just came to campus. It wasn't like a lifelong dream to do it. They came to campus. I liked business. I like economics. So I got the job and I loved it. I really liked Wall Street. It gave me a great foundation. I liked what I did. But I always had this creative side of me that wanted to balance out with the numbers in the business. So like I said, when I started as a hobby, it was just like, I'm going to teach kids to make cupcakes on the weekends. And my friends were like, you're going to do what? It's like, yeah, I'm going to start this little business. And I put up a website, wasn't really in it to make money. Like you said, I had a great job. And that's how it started. And then I liked the challenge. I love a challenge, right? I like to figure things out. I liked that, I felt like in Wall Street, I could see where my life was going. I knew what hopefully keep working up the corporate ladder, and kind of you'd have to live in Manhattan, which is where I lived, which was a great place to live. But I just liked the creativity of it. And my grandparents, my grandparents and my parents always had businesses as a kid. It was on top of their corporate job. But always the dinner tables, they were talking about business. I just like the challenge. I like a challenge. And I felt like, hey, I could do this. I could figure this out. I'd always had in the back of my mind that I wanted to start a business, but never really knowing what it would be. And so it just kind of fell into me. Really, I had the passion, started it, and I liked it. I did it while working on Wall Street for about a year, like I said, and that's when clients were really asking me for more than I could do. And at the time when I finally left, I think I was 26. So young. Didn't own a home, wasn't married. I was like, okay, this is the time to do this. I didn't have kids. We now have 3 little kids. So I just went for it. Like I like a challenge and I like an adventure, and that's what I set out to do.
The athlete mentality in there somewhere. Like, that's a champ. What's the record? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go.
No, I am very competitive with myself. I love to figure out new things and figure out how to make it work.
Love it. So now Taste Buds Kitchen is what we're calling it now, right?
That's Kitchen.
What the heck is Taste Buds Kitchen? Tell us from a consumer standpoint. We'll get into the owner side here in a moment.
Sure. Yeah. So Taste Buds Kitchen, there are 17 of us. I just signed our 17th franchise agreement earlier this week. Nice. Kitchens all across the country. It's 2,000 square feet. You walk into this beautiful kitchen event space and you will cook your meal start to finish. So we do little kids classes where they're making spider donuts or cheesy quesadillas, and they can come with their parents, 2 to 8-year-olds. We'll do birthday parties after school on the weekend. We have battle cupcakes for the older kids. We have Pizza Perfections, our #1 bestseller for the younger kids. We do summer camp. We do school break camp. So that's all the kids side of it. And then on the adult side, we're BYOB. So bring your own beer or wine. And we're cooking date night classes, friends night, girls night out, 30-year-old siblings bringing their 60-year-old parents and cooking together in classes. And then we'll do a lot on the private event side with corporate events. So people who, instead of going out to dinner with your team, you're going to bring your team to us. So we're making handmade pasta, or we're doing sushi and dumplings, tasty Thai, delicious menus, all BYOB. So that's who we are. We don't sell food. We don't cater food. It's just a beautiful kitchen. When kids come in, their fingers are, twitching with excitement because it's beautiful, it's visual, it's bright, it's clean. It's not a heavy stainless steel commercial kitchen like you'd see in a restaurant or on, like a TV show. Right. And for adults, people's reaction is, oh my gosh, this is so organized. This is so clean. I want this to be my home kitchen. We're generally using residential style equipment in the kitchen, which is what you see. And then we have a behind the scenes back of house. But it's a really fun place to be. Lots of smiles, lots of creativity, creating everything we make entirely from scratch.
Wow. Okay. So I'm trying to get the visual of this. So at any one time in there, kind of how many people would be in a, I guess, kind of a class, we're calling it, correct?
Yeah. So on the public side, we have classes. We put it up on the class calendar and you can register in advance to come. On the private side, you book the kitchen just for you and your group. We do groups as small as 2 or 3 for private lessons, and we do corporate team building events anywhere from 36 to 48, depending on the size of the kitchen. So we do big groups. Yeah, we do big groups. Kids' birthday parties, they could be 15 kids, they could be 35 kids. Summer camp, we're going to be in the 20 to 30 kids per camp. Younger kids in the morning, older kids in the afternoon, and then we have an advanced teen camp in the evening.
So we say kitchen with, let's say maybe there's 20 people. Are we all like sitting there like hovering around one little stove and oven?
Yeah.
And then everybody has kind of their role.
We really figured this out. Yeah, this is awesome. So I'm 6'1", my husband's 6'5". We're very tall. As I said, we have 3 young human, twin 3.5-year-olds, boy and a girl, and a 6-year-old boy. So we've got our hands full with real people at home. Yeah. But our tables adjust. So we have low heights for the little kids, and then we have high heights for the older teens and adults. And every table is its own workstation. So you're going to work with a group within the big kitchen. So let's say it's an adult class. We have 16 people. We'll have 4 tables of 4 cooking. So you're coming up to the front. You're learning the recipe. You're learning the tips and tricks, something fun, how to hold a knife, how to not cry when you cut an onion, right? These really fun things that you're gleaning. Half the people there love cooking. Half the people don't love cooking. They're sipping on their wine and just having a fun night. Same thing as if you went out to dinner. Right? And then you go back to your table, you'll cut up your onions, you'll saute your oven. So every table is making everything entirely from scratch, but all steps in the process.
Gotcha. So we're all kind of like picking our course of the meal that we're in charge of and kind of working together.
Well, everyone does everything. So everyone, so every table is making their own dinner for 4 people or 6 people, however many you have at the table, same thing. So it's not like some other concepts where you're doing cooking, maybe like, hey, you're making the starter, we're making the main, we're making the dessert, we sit down family style. Every table makes everything. So and that's the same in all of our classes, whether it's parties or camps, we want everyone to get all the tips and tricks out of it that they can. Okay.
And my 11-year-old has watched probably every episode of Nailed It on Netflix. So I'm kind of envisioning like that minus the pressure, right? And
minus the pressure, we do friendly competition. We do have was Cake Off. It's now cake decorating, where you can literally come in, make your cake start to finish. We make the buttercream. The kids can flavor. They can do toppings, they'll do fondant, they'll work with it, and every child will go home with their own personal individual cake.
Oh, nice. Right. And that's the other one. I was going to say that's the other one is
Nailed It. The other menu that's popular is called Battle Cupcake, and it's where the kids will make their own cupcakes, their own frosting, and battle it out. And in that, they're actually bringing it to the front every table and presenting it to the judge, who's the host or the chef instructor.
Nice.
And we're doing it taste, presentation, and creativity, just having a lot of fun in the kitchen with the kids. Again, not all sweet. The sweets always sell best for kids. Adults like more of the savory, but we do a good mix of all of them.
Yeah, I'm going to be there at the kids' day. I want the cake and the cupcake. You had me there. Yeah. So, okay. Super cool concept. And probably everybody's right now on, Taste Buds Kitchen website trying to see if there's one close so they can schedule a class, right? So,
TasteBuds.com. Check us out.
There we go.
Hey everyone, I wanted to take a quick break from our podcast to tell you about our amazing friends at Entrepreneur. If you're looking to become a franchisee or simply learn more about business ownership, and guys, let's be honest, you're listening to the Franchising 101 podcast, so we know you have some interest in this. And I really encourage you to go to entrepreneur.com to check out all of their great content and resources. Seriously, Entrepreneur has everything, all the way from a bookstore to the best podcasts, webinars, and videos, plus information on upcoming events and the latest articles that seriously, they cover all aspects of franchising and business ownership. If you're having trouble deciding which franchise is right for you, start with Entrepreneur's renowned Franchise 500 ranking, which highlights the best franchises of 2022. For 45 years and counting now, Entrepreneur has been and continues to be the most widely recognized and respected authority in the franchise market. Digital and print subscriptions are available, so you never miss out on anything. So seriously, what are you waiting for? Go to entrepreneur.com right now and learn more.
But now let's talk, so business model
We're all over.
and
We're really spread out. So just had to check out. We have
you are
in the
right,
San
like
Francisco Bay Area. The flagship, the one where I started it, is in New York City. We have Florida. We have some in the Midwest, some outside of Chicago, some outside of Boston. So like I said, we're 17 and counting, which is exciting.
awesome. Well, and hey, there's probably somebody listening right now that will be one of the future ones. So tell us a little bit about an owner, kind of anything in particular you're looking for, and then really kind of what's their role kind of day in a life as an owner of Taste Buds Kitchen.
Yes. So it's a fun business to run, first off. So the primary franchise target for us is people who are in a corporate job, in a good job, but just want something different, right? Like good thinkers, want to run a business, want to be engaged in this, but typically have kids, typically want to be more involved in their community. Maybe they're traveling for work, not home as much as they would like, and really want to opportunity to put down roots where they are. They may have lived there for a really long time. They may have lived there for just a few years, but someone that wants to grow in that way. Got a lot of husband-wife teams. Certainly doesn't have to be, but a lot of husband-wife teams of people who are excited to try something new. Don't want to open a restaurant, don't want to open a school or a daycare. Maybe hadn't even heard about us, like you said, until you would share the concept with them. But this concept resonates with a lot of people who want to try, a different way of living, which I think is really great.
What's a
Jeff? I'll say that everyone asks. You don't need formal culinary training. We don't have any franchisees that have even been to culinary school. So you have to love food, you have to love the kitchen, love community and connecting, but we will teach you the rest. We will teach you how to teach your instructors. You'll have a great employee team who will be doing most of the teaching of the classes.
Gotcha. What's a time commitment? Is this something, are you looking for owners to really jump in full time? Are we open to something more semi-absentee as well? What's that look like?
Yeah, we are looking for franchisees to jump in full time. We do have some that do it on top of a other part-time job, but I think it would be tricky, at least at first, to do it on top of a full-time job. You will have a general manager. You'll have a full-time general manager who you will hire. You will bring with them to training with you. So we'll train both of you, typically husband-wife teams, and that general manager will come to you for grand opening training. We'll support you. That first 6 to 12 months is a steep learning curve as you're going through every season for the first time, every summer camp season, every gingerbread holiday season. And then you kind of will get it down. Your GM will grow into the role. And usually that's when people will go on to open their second kitchen, right? And then continue with their third kitchen. Opening one is great. We are looking for people that want to open 2 or 3 in time, have little mini TBK empires of their own. But it is a good effort to run it the way it can be run and to make it as big of a business as it can be. It takes some definitely time.
Yes. And what we've talked about, the owner, a GM, and then we've got instructors. I don't know, maybe the GM can be an instructor once in a while, but what are we really looking for staff-wise to kind of start off?
When you open, so it'll be you and your GM. They're your key employee, and GM is a little bit misleading of a title because they will be your primary instructor. When you open, they're going to be hosting, which is what we call instructing, 50 to 75% of the time, right? They're going to be going to the grocery store. They're going to be hiring the assistants. They're going to be making sure the kitchen is clean. And then on top of that, you'll need a few assistants. They're the ones that help at the events. Usually we're staffing 6 to 1. So if you have 12 people, you have your GM and then you'll have an assistant. So usually a small team of assistants, 2 to 3. It'll depend on how many hours a week they're available. I always prefer fewer people who have more availability. So you're building a really good small team with close to full-time efforts. But that's the team. And then you will also, depending on how busy it is when you open, we have people who have also opened with a second instructor. So you have your GM that does most of your instructing and then a second instructor to do, nights or weekends. So it's not too long of a Saturday, particularly for the general manager.
Yeah. Do you, maybe this doesn't happen, but I would envision you're getting people that are coming in essentially as customers and then looking around and going, hey, I could use a part-time job. This looks fun, right?
Yeah. We have a lot of moms who maybe say their kids are in school during the day and they want to do something then, or we have, people who are in school who want to do it on top of it. Very common for your clients to want to help and want to get involved when they find that it's really fun for not only them, but for their kids.
Right. And so part of that, when you talk about back to the owner and that full-time effort, yes, we have the classes, but we have to build the classes, right? So I'm guessing they're also need to be very active in the community, trying to create the awareness, make some connections to again, kind of help in addition to the marketing that's being done, how important is that for an owner to be out in the community?
I think community marketing is a huge piece of it. So you kind of take a step back with who's doing what. We have all the recipes, the content, we know how to run the business. We have the website, all of the vendors, all of the support for that. And then we're going to launch the paid campaign for your advertising. But that community marketing piece is nothing can replace you meeting your client, right? Yeah. You being at the event, doing a cupcake decorating station at the park, or being at the Bachelorette Expo in town promoting TBK. So we've got a whole lineup of community marketing activities that are often very successful for franchisees. And we'll coach you on how to do that, how to give your elevator pitch, how to get out there and meet your community. And it's like, corporate events are really big for us. So there's corporate events all over. The dentist in the plaza next to you, right? The chiropractor on the corner. There's definitely a lot of things that nothing, like you said, they may see an ad or they may see a brochure, but meeting the owner or your GM face-to-face will be a really important part of grand opening.
Yeah, that just that time and that again, especially for something like this, that's such a fun, happy business, is to have the pride of ownership, of getting out there and talking to people. And yes, the marketing is going to get the individuals coming in, but sometimes you got to get your boots on the ground to build those relationships from I always think something like this, the B2B side can be amazing because it's kind of one customer, the business, and they're bringing all their people, but now they've gotten introduced to something they didn't know that was there, and they're going to go home like, oh my gosh, I just had this amazing experience. We need to go. We need to bring our kids, whatever. So that's got to be just a huge kind of like marketing side of things for taste bud owners, is to really get those corporate events, right?
Definitely. And it's a lifestyle business in that way, is you come for a corporate event, and then you bring your spouse for a date night, and you bring your 8-year-old to summer camp, and your 12-year-old does the birthday party. So families, we call them loyals. We're trying to create loyals. We want people to come here 2 to 4 times a year, experience what we offer, come every season, come every quarter. And you're absolutely right.
Gotcha. And so you mentioned this early, but I always want to come back to it. So I could be an owner of Taste Buds, even though my culinary skills is, let's see, this morning for breakfast, I put a couple of waffles in the toaster and some sausage links in the microwave for my kid. Right.
Nice.
Like,
perfect. Yeah.
That's it. I'll probably have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich later for lunch. Like I'm still like a kid at the ripe old age of 55. But for you guys, you're going to go, okay, well, who cares? Right. I don't need that. Because you're going to provide everything to me, to my GM, all of the, like, literally everything is complete. Literally the recipe for success is laid out in the business model, but in the actual recipes for your owners, correct?
Yes, I would say that's correct. I would say a passion for cooking is important. So if you like to cook, absolutely, we're fine. If you don't like to cook, then it's going to be someone in the ownership team should have a passion for this, because yes, your GM is going to love to. But yes, you don't have to be taught from your grandma since you were 5. You don't have to have been to culinary school. You don't even have to have a recipe that you know and love and are really fancy doing, because we have all the recipes. We know what is marketable to clients. We know what's executable in the kitchen. We try to make them really doable, really fun for clients, give you flexibility around the environment. So yes, with your background, I would not be concerned. As long as you had a passion for the kitchen, we can make this happen.
I always think it seems cool to do. I just don't know how to do it. And for me personally, it's me and an 11-year-old boy who, hot dogs, chicken nuggets. We've got a very expansive palate.
Don't require a lot of time.
Right, exactly. If I started whipping up something big, he would be like, "Dad."
Not what we're used to around here.
Right. Plus, it probably wouldn't be very good. Do you get owners that say, "Okay, I love all the things that you have and the recipes, but I don't know, Jessi, like my grandmother, she made this amazing blah blah blah. Can we do this in my Taste Buds kitchen?"
Yeah, for sure. We do. And so we have a lot. So we have, last count, almost 300 recipes. So I think you'll find, we have a lot. Different kinds of cuisine. We are nut free. So no nuts or nut flours or nut oils in our kitchen, just due to nut allergies, especially in children. And then we have menus that are gluten free or dairy free. So we do cater to a lot. But we always are open to ideas. So we have submission forms. We have franchisees who've been involved in creating some of the menus that we run today. We'll have a testing process. There's definitely ways to give your creative ideas. And hopefully they could be adopted by everyone.
Very cool. Love it. Talk a little bit from a franchisor support on, so we get the the marketing, I got to get out. I got to be a proud owner. I got to talk. I got to build my team, fun environment. You're going to give me all the recipes. Don't mess it up.
Right.
But geez, Jessi, I need a physical location. I've never found real estate for my own. I've never even owned a business. How could I possibly find my own real estate and get that all set up? Walk us through some of the many, many ways that you're going to help owners find that thing and get it all open, ready for business.
Yeah, great question. So for brick and mortar, we're pretty fast. So we're 8 to 12 months from signing till opening, which is great. Okay. And our space is 2,000 square feet. So my husband, who's my partner in the business, he's an architect and did commercial real estate in New York City. So I started Taste Buds Kitchen before we met. I ran it for 5 years, building the business, and then we franchised. And that's when he left his job, came and joined Taste Buds Kitchen full time. So he's been doing that for 10 years now. So he's incredibly helpful. All of our current owners have a female in the ownership team. So a lot of husband-wife teams say so. We're currently 100% female owned. I'm sure that will change at some point. But he and we work with CBRE, our real estate partner, will guide you through the whole site selection process. So you sign your franchise agreement. We have an onboarding kickoff call within the next business day or two. And then you'll have your kickoff call with our real estate brokers. And they'll be pairing the national broker, the local broker. They're going to give you a PDF with all the locations in your search area that would work. You're going to review them. You're going to see what you like, what you don't like, what's close to you. And then you're going to go out and see the spaces as quickly as possible. And I'm assuring you in all markets, we have these spaces in line. Yes. You can do standalone. We have a lot of fun facility options, but it's an attainable space. It's readily available. And then we have all the schematics to build it. We have an architect that we work with that's going to design everyone's location. And then contractors will work with you to find a contractor locally. So you don't need to be intimidated if you have not been through it. We've been through it 17 times now. And in our New York City kitchen, we did like 3 different expansions to take over. We have 2 kitchens in one facility, which is where I started it. So I have full confidence in that part of the process. We even have everything from a spreadsheet of everything you'll have to buy for the kitchen, a link to buy it and how many, and all of that's in part of our item 7.
And one of the things people don't realize about kind of the commercial real estate side for a franchise is, somebody might hear that and go, well, you've only been through it 17 times and only in those 17 locations. What do you know about my area? Because my area is so unique, which says everyone about where they are. But you're talking about partnering with CBRE, and people may not know what that is until you start driving around looking at strip malls. I don't care where you live, you will see a strip mall and you will see the letter CBRE. Yes. They know where you live, like they know what you're wearing today. They know the areas. So this is by far not their first millionth rodeo of doing this. So having that national presence wherever you're putting somebody, I always tell people real estate, don't argue with their real estate team. They're smarter than you. Just smile and nod. If they tell you to go do something and look at something, go look at it as fast as you can, and then do what they say. I think it's one of the biggest areas people can mess up even before you're open is because you think you're smarter than people that do this for a living. So love all that support.
That's great. And we listen to our franchisees as well, right? We want to be within 30 minutes of where you live. We want this to be accessible to you. But in your market, you're exactly right. Our partner is going to know where are the plazas, where everyone's going, right? Where is the right way for traffic? And our franchisees have great input. So it's very much a collaborative process, but we feel confident in any market because we have that national presence and the local representative and the franchisee. We're going to end up on a great location. And that we have a guarantee that we won't approve a site that we ourselves wouldn't open. So we want to make sure that we think it has every chance of, opportunity for success as if we were doing it ourselves.
Love it. Because you kind of are, right? Again, that's what it really should be, that partnership. So sure. I love it. One last thing I want to ask you, and I'll let you go. And thank you so much for all of your time today talking about Taste Buds Kitchen.
Of course. So I can talk about it all day long.
I kind of figured maybe just a little passion behind that. So what are we missing, right? Is there anything that we've not talked about today about Taste Buds Kitchen that you really want to make sure we know that we haven't talked about yet?
Are your ulcerative colitis symptoms proving difficult to manage? Tremfya guselkumab can help you manage the cycle of UC symptoms. At 1 year, many patients taking Tremfya achieved clinical remission, and some patients also achieved endoscopic remission. Individual results may vary. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor if Tremfya can help you manage the cycle of UC symptoms. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Uh-oh, the last cookie.
You can get a new box of cookies in as fast as an hour with Walmart Express Delivery.
Are you my guilty self-conscience?
No, I'm the voice offering you promo code EXPRESS for free delivery on your first order.
Hey, who ate my cookies?
You mean, these cookies?
Order now. Welcome to your Walmart. Promotion valid for first express delivery order. $50 minimum subject to availability. Restrictions apply.
One question I commonly get is what percentage of the business is kids versus what percentage is adults? So generally it's going to be about 35 to 40% adults and then 65 to 60% kids. Although in some of the more metropolitan markets, you'll see it more like a 50-50. So I get that question a lot. And then also, people who are nervous to run restaurants, I think this is a great opportunity because it doesn't have the hours of a restaurant. It doesn't have the food costs of a restaurant. It's fewer employees. It's more profitable, generally, community driven. So we definitely have franchising them in our current, ownership structure that they were thinking about that and it just seemed like too much for them. So I think that's like a good means of comparison because we're not selling food. Our food costs are not what a restaurant is, and it's educational and it's fun. So those are two common questions. No, I just think it's a fun business, really. So we're looking for engaged owners, people that want to open a franchise and want to do something different and have a good market to support it.
And you think about the food, like from a perspective, if I open up a restaurant or any sort of food franchise, geez, what if somebody doesn't like my food? Well, if somebody doesn't like the food there, they can kind of blame themselves because they're the ones that did it. But they're and obviously the recipes are well tested, but at least they're having a great experience and the fun of putting this together, right? So
that's it, right? Like if clients will go home and they'll say, "Oh my gosh, I'll never hold my knife the way I used to anymore," right? Or I'll never cut an onion the same way. Or I never knew to crack my eggs that way. That's a great tip for not getting the shell in the yolk or the white. So those are the things I want people to hold on to. Of course, they will make the recipes again and again, but not everyone will, and that's okay. It's really just come, have fun, do something different, do something new, get out of the zone, put your phone down, and have fun together.
Can the customers take the recipes home with them?
What they make?
Yeah. Or
leftovers.
Right.
But the recipes themselves, for when you sign up, we send you the recipe. So even before you've walked in our door, you have it. We find that's helpful for people to review for allergies. If you want to know what to expect, this is what we're making. You get it at the time of sign up, and then we'll cook through the recipe start to finish, and then you get them emailed to you after as well, in case they're lost down there in your inbox.
So they could actually then go home and make it the next week on their own.
Specifically pasta. It changes your life once you've had handmade pasta. It's so simple. It's so fun. And compared to the box pastas, pasta takes 90 seconds to cook. And if you think of a box pasta, it's taking much longer than that. Just the fresh ingredients of the flour and the egg, salt and pepper, a little bit of olive oil. It's really fresh and really delicious.
Okay. I'm really at this point just trying to figure out how we can get there and have some fun at one of these locations. So let's see, where's the nearest one? Okay.
Probably San Francisco area to you. Yeah.
No, we'll hop on a plane and come to you. So super cool. So I just this has been fantastic, Jessi, to one, get to know you and your journey into this. Anybody thinks about I'm really scared to leave and own a franchise, we're just going to have them talk to you about your journey from leaving Wall Street and starting something from scratch. And congratulations on the amazing success you already have had. And I can't wait to see this franchise continue to just grow and take off. So thank you so much for joining us and congratulations on what you've done.
Thanks so much, Tim. I appreciate it.
Again, want to thank Jessi for joining us from Taste Buds Kitchen today. Loved hearing about that. And as always, want to thank you, our loyal podcast listeners. And we hope this podcast helps enlighten you to the amazing opportunities that are out there that can be achieved as a franchise owner. When you're ready to learn more, and again, why aren't you ready yet? Let's go. Reach out to our team, francoach.net, our podcast site, franchising101podcast.net. Again, never ever any fee for our service. So we are here for you. Also want to remind you, we are in just launched First one was last week. Our TV show, brand spanking new, folks, the Franchising 360 show. You can find it on Biz TV every Friday night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. If for some reason you miss it, maybe you have actual plans on Friday night that are more important than this, which I find hard to believe. But if so, you can find it on the Biz TV app, biztv.com. You'll be able to find it on our website. All these amazing things are there for you. So check it out. We're just getting started, so we're not really good at it yet, but I think we'll get better. So anyway, and then again, reach out to our team at francoach.net and let us help you create your better tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll talk with you next week.